On today's episode of Insane Throttle, Harley Davidson's nightmare intensifies with CEO shocking confession. We're going to discuss how the CEO of Harley Davidson intentionally took the job to enact European Phiospohies and, quite frankly, dealing a death blow to Harley Davidson image and future within the biker culture. Let's get this going.
The greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces.
Oh man, Harley Davidson, what have you done? Woo! This has been a wild ride, to say the least, for you. This is what happens when you get involved in these kind of policies. And now a lot has come to light, especially about your CEO's viewpoints. What were you thinking when you brought him to an American company? Did you think it was going to go all right? You know, a lot of people, and I'm being serious, a lot of people from a young age wanted to ride a Harley Davidson. Well, you know, my generation above, because it doesn't seem like these kids want to ride any Harley Davidsons, because let's just admit it, man, they got these rockets out there. And if you ask me, Harley Davidson to be smart, if they wanted to come back to this, man, and get back going, is to actually make a motorcycle they want to ride. And I'm not talking about a Buell. Go out there and design your own rocket is what I say. But a lot has came out in this last video of him speaking that Robbie Starbuck released. And hats off to Robbie Starbuck, man, because he has really brought to light a lot that's going on within the Harley Davidson company, the way they're thinking, employees, all that kind of stuff. If you don't know, Harley Davidson's moving a lot of production of the Sportsters to Thailand, and they're going to be reselling it here in the States, and that's already got people going freaking crazy right now. But anyway, ever since I was a kid, I wanted to ride a Harley Davidson, and this is why.
You know, when I was a young man, riding a Harley Davidson motorcycle, that's all I could think of.
Yeah, that was a commercial when I was a little younger, and it really does capture a lot of what we felt. Now, yes, there was a movement early on when it came to love the motorcycle, hate the company type of stuff. And you used to see all the time where people had the Harley Davidson patch upside down. And I think it's going to get worse for you guys now, because I think a lot of people are tired of this, it being pushed on them. Harley, man, your tent was empty at Sturgis, and I see a lot of people trying to defend them and saying it's not true, but take a look.
Guys, I wanted to give you a look under the Harley Davidson tent. A lot of people have been asking me, is there really a Harley boycott going on in Sturgis? Well, we wanted to come out here and show you. Remember last year, Psycho Drag showed you the Budweiser tent, and unfortunately, it looks like for the motor company this year, it may be affecting them. It looks like participation is way down under the Harley tent. As for the reason for this boycott, Harley accused of going quote-unquote woke by some. Because of that, not many have entered this booth, at least not today, here in Sturgis, South Dakota at the 84th annual.
Oh yeah, man. You know what? I think that was Cycle World or something that was trying to push that. Well, for some, this is everywhere, man. I don't know a creator that hasn't been making a video about what's going on with Harley Davidson right now. And when this video came out, a lot of people were upset. And
then I became a board member on Harley Davidson. Now you could ask, what am I doing here? And of course, Harley is all about the sound and the smell of the Harley Davidson, isn't it? So I became the Taliban again in a sustainable way.
Wow. To compare himself to the Taliban. What happened for the last 20 something years that we were over there? And that is what he says. And you wonder why, since that clip has come out, the Harley Davidson nightmare is intensifying, because that's just not something that you say here in the States. And that kind of goes to show you that he has no understanding whatsoever of the culture, and especially the culture within the motorcycle scene. And I hear people talking about how the clubs feel and stuff. That's on them. It really is. I'm talking about everyday riders. And one thing that is funny about this is the whole deal came out about them moving production, not keeping their promise about not selling them bikes here in the States. Next time you get on your Harley Davidson, think about the people that built that bike and how many people are going to lose their jobs because production's being shipped overseas. And that argument about how Harley Davidson's trying to circumvent the European Union's tariffs and stuff ain't gonna work, because they're not thinking long term. They didn't think about the election or any of that type of stuff. There might be tariffs put on that. It just does not make any sense. But here's another thing that he had to say in this deal.
I decided to actually create a sustainability committee on the board, which I'm still chairing today.
Yes, he did commit that oversight board. And, a lot of people are, again, tired of it being shoved down their throats. And this just goes to show you he really doesn't know his core customers. And I've always said, in business, you never go against your core customers, because they're the ones that are going to always be there for you. And like I said in that interview with Fox, we stuck with you even though your bikes were crap. During the AMF years, when you were struggling, it was always us that stuck with you. So why would you go against your core? Yes, you're trying to bring in new riders. Problem is, you got to design. Don't get into all the politics, the social issues, all that kind of noise, because this is what happens. And a lot of people say, well, why ain't an American running the American company? You got to ask Harley Davidson, man. You got to ask them what they were thinking when they hired somebody like this. Check it out some more.
All of us have experienced that without leadership, it ain't gonna happen. So it's important that we create that new leadership, that we get others to join a new thinking of a more sustainable business, of a better business that is more equitable in every respect, socially, environmentally, and financially. It comes down to education, it comes down to gender equality, it comes down to empowering people, it comes down to new ways of doing business.
I tell you what, that one clip has been played again everywhere. I got the entire video of what he was talking about. I think it was like 2.5 minutes long, and you can see where he's coming from. A lot of people are going to say, Robbie, he started the John Deere boycott as well as Tractor Town, and they changed a lot of stuff. I know Harley Davidson has came out and said, we're going to switch some of our positions around. I think it's too late, man. It's at the point where you better get rid of this guy or he's going to drag it down. I bet Indians through the roof, even though that we all know it's hard right now. And with all the money that people are struggling with, food and all that stuff. So it is actually a luxury item now. But what happens when everybody's able to catch up with inflation? You know what I mean? Does Harley Davidson have a future? I don't know, man. it's just funny seeing both sides of the fence on this one. And I just wish we would go back to the thinking like this
You
again.
know, when I was a young man, riding a Harley Davidson motorcycle, well, that's all I could think of.
That's what Harley Davidson has to do. They got to get back to their core customer base. Yes, it's a global economy, but at the same time, the majority of your buyers, your core customers, are here in the United States. So start thinking about them. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Do you think this is going to continue? Do you think it's really going to be putting a dent in Harley Davidson, its stock price? Do you think they need to get rid of this CEO now that all this has come out the way it has? Let me know, man. Let me know.
Is an in-depth look at the trials and tribulations of street gang and motorcycle club life. This isn't the run-of-the-mill book that doesn't give the goods. This book will go into detail of events that actually happened. All materials in this book have been approved by those involved. There is nothing poetic, nor is there any price worth paying for the life we choose to live on the streets. James Hollywood Machikari, Brotherhood and Betrayal.
Yeah.